to call the October 17th Board of Safety meeting. Pledge of Allegiance.
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Patrick Moran,
Here.
Robert Commett,
Here.
Ray Paradiso,
Here.
Brian Daniel is absent. Sitting in for Chief Flores is Deputy Chief Demeter,
Here.
and Kevin Leduc from Chief for Fire Department.
Here.
Mr. Schilling, liaison, is absent. Mr. Decker, the attorney,
Here.
and Mr. Wizawati, town manager.
Present.
I'd be looking for approval of minutes from September 19th, 2022. I'd like to need a motion for that.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Motion by Ray,
I will second that.
second by Rob. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Monthly reports, Fire Department.
Good evening, gentlemen. For EMS, we had a total of 138 patient contacts in the month of September. Of those patient contacts, 80% were ALS1, 1% ALS2, and 19% were BLS. 58 of those, or 68% were resident, 32% were non-resident, and we actually had a tie for the first time last month of percentage of transport to Franciscan Crown Point, Franciscan Dyer at 38. We did bill out $92,607.41, and money received was $57,186.71. As for fires, again, the vast majority of our calls were in town with the St. John address of 153, 10 with the in town with the Dyer address, 3 in town with the Crown Point address, 2 in town with the Cedar Lake address. We did a total of 5 calls into our contracted area of the township, and a total of 8 mutual aid requests. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Chief, on that receivables, how much of that, I mean, do you know how much of it's 30, 60, 90 days out? Is most of what we collect from the insurance companies, or?
It's varied. And one thing that we're working with the council and Beth and Joe on are right now is refunds and getting those at a adequate time. So at 30, 60, 90, we send reminders to them. After 90, it goes into a queue where we could send it to the lawyer to decide if we're going to go further with that. Or 30, 60, 90, they could enter a payment plan, which most people do before they end up at the lawyer. If they go to court, 95% of those people either don't show up, or when they get there, they sign up with some sort of payment plan. Every person has went in front of a judge has been awarded for the town. So
So we've got dollar amount generated. What is our total receivable balance on that?
that we have left open, I'd have to pull that. So we do carry a balance between Medicaid, Medicare, and then private insurance. I don't even want to quote you right now because I don't know a good number, but we're always 2 to 3 months behind. So this 92 that we see now, we probably won't catch anything on that billing-wise till December.
Okay. It would be interesting to see
Yeah.
what the receivable is aged out, because this really just tells us how much you've billed and how much you've received, but still don't know if we're collecting, or is the over 90 growing, or does it remain pretty constant?
Yeah, I will email you, or maybe we could probably talk offline a little bit on some of that, but I'll email you and send you a report. Mandy has all that, Amanda, our administrator, has all that, so we could pull that, maybe we could find out the numbers, and
Okay.
if it's something that may be helpful for you guys to hear, I could add that.
Yeah, I would just like to see it aged from.
Yeah, not a problem.
The accountant did me.
Do you want to have him add it to the monthly meeting?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to throw the aging on the monthly report,
Let me work with you with what exactly you're looking for, so I report the right number.
it's total receivable. I don't. At this
Anything we have
point,
left open.
Yeah, just whatever the receivable balance is, the aging.
And would you like it separated by a 30, 60, 90 plus?
It would be aged out in your bucket, so you'd have your current 30 day, 60 day, 90, and over 90.
Okay. I
Thank
will
you,
work on that.
Chief.
Okay, Police Department.
Okay, from September 1st, 2022 through September 30th, 2022, The members of the St. John Police Department logged 22,762 miles and responded to 617 law incidents. The investigation of these incidents led to 22 arrests, with 43 charges being filed. There were 286 traffic citations issued, along with 332 written warnings, for a total of 618 citations being issued during the month. Vehicle thefts totaled $2,500, other thefts totaled $2,820, and the recovery property totaled $2,500.
Okay, thank you.
Chief, I know we've seen, or we heard in the past month, another house was hit by a bullet. Was that a stray bullet, or was that?
No, it was not a stray bullet. No, it was intentional.
Thank you for what you guys do.
Thank you.
Okay, old business, fire department.
I have none.
Okay. Police department.
Wow, thanks, Kevin.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, just to touch real quick on the eligibility list process we've been going on. We had the written test last Saturday. There were 13 applicants that did show up for that. The tests were sent back for grading. We should get those back hopefully sometime this week. After that happens, we're going to set up the interviews. That's the next process. That should be on the 9th and 10th of November. We'll know better once we find out if everybody passed the test as far as exact times and the amount of interviews we're going to have. And hopefully, if everything goes well, fingers crossed, we'll be presenting a list to you guys next month.
Okay, new business, fire department.
So I actually have one other thing that I don't know if it needs board action, but just letting you guys know, Zach Stribiak will complete his probation on 11/4, which is before our next meeting. Last time we had this, you just wanted me to kind of let you guys know. So far, all his reviews have been great. I don't anticipate him messing up in the next 3 weeks, but just letting you guys know, we're going to remove him off his 1-year probation on 11/4. That coincides with payroll, so we could let Clerk Treasurer Hernandez know as well. New business. My only official new business is grant paperwork. I'm glad Adam sits next to me because I'm probably going to need his help on some of this. But one of the few things we had to do is the AFG grant we did secure was through the volunteer organization. And the volunteer organization, as you know, is a 501c3. It helps fund and also gives us manpower, but now we're all the volunteers are actually paid on call members, which means they're employees of the town. So us, the volunteers receiving the air packs, basically Adam helped me with, or did not help me, I didn't do much work at all. One, we need an official procurement procedure. So the first thing that you guys have in your packet is a procurement procedure that the board from the volunteers signed and executed. I just wanted you guys to have a copy because it kind of goes along with the next part. Where, again, Adam helped immensely, or did all immensely. And this is basically saying, this document here, I'm going to sum it up in Kevin terms, and I think Adam could wrap it up probably better, is basically the volunteers, since they're receiving the packs, are going to give them to the town so the town could use them. This basically shows that. Did I summarize that correctly?
Well,
No.
I would say it's not, there's no transfer. The award of the grant was made to the St. John Volunteer Fire Department, which is a separate legal entity. And so that entity will actually take receipt of the equipment that's purchased with the grant funds. The agreement that's presented for you this evening is a fairly simple agreement between the volunteer fire department and the town through its Board of Safety to allow the town and the town fire department members to use the equipment that may be procured using the grant to the volunteer fire department.
So the volunteer fire department will remain owner of the
Yes,
equipment?
yes, it will.
And one of the questions that they had, and I think it's something that we would, sorry. One of the questions that the volunteer board had was, would they be responsible for upkeep? But if it's something that we use for the town, that probably could come out of a municipal budget, I would imagine. So our bottle testing, our hydro testing, flow tests, stuff like that was one of the questions that they had. So again, that's something that I probably talked to Town Manager Wizawati and the Town Council, but it's something that in the past has came out of the town municipal budget. So what you have in front of you is that agreement, and President Olson from the volunteers, or Lieutenant Olson, who's the president from the volunteer organization, did sign. So I'm looking for a favorable recommendation and a signature from President Pat Moran, so I could send this to FEMA.
So you're looking for a motion to have the board allow me to sign this
Please.
agreement?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I would say it's a motion to approve the agreement that's been presented with the volunteer fire department, and then your signature would simply indicate the approval by the board as an entire board, so.
Okay. So the motion is to approve the agreement with the volunteer fire department and the fire department.
So I'll make the motion to approve the agreement for use and maintenance of equipment between the St. John Volunteer Fire Department, Inc., the Town of St. John, Indiana Board of Safety, to approve that, and also to approve Pat Moran to sign the document.
Okay, we have that motion on the
I'll
floor.
second that motion.
Second by Ray. Any further questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I had. Thank you, guys.
Is that something I'm signing tonight?
Yes. We have a copy here with Secretary Gross.
All right. Let's see. Okay, police department, you're up for new business.
As the board is aware, earlier this year, we had started a promotional process. We created 2 lists. We created a sergeant's list and a corporal's list, both good for 2 years. Since that time, have exhausted the corporal's list, so Chief Flores is looking for the board's approval to begin that process again, so we have another active list.
Okay. So I'm looking for a motion to approve the start of the corporal eligibility list process.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Ray. Any second?
I will second that.
Second by Rob. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, brings us to public comment. Did you have anything to?
Yes.
Okay,
So,
just, I want to let you know, we do have a 3-minute,
Got it.
Got it.
Everybody stay in 3 minutes.
okay.
So, I have to come to the microphone.
Yeah, come to the microphone, please, and identify yourself.
Sounds like I'm loud enough.
Okay.
So I
The
was,
crowd noises are pretty overwhelming, so.
yeah, the crowd.
State
right.
your name, please.
Yeah.
Reba Mahaffey. I've been here in St. John over 40 years.
Okay.
One of the first builders out in Lancer Estates.
Okay.
I live in front of the Clark Middle School, and since the school has grown so much, and especially on rain days, I can never get out of my subdivision in order to get in time for work. So I go the different Mallard, I go down to the next, I can't get out. There's 45 cars lined up, and I can't get out of my subdivision. I can go to the back and come around, but I'm not willing to do that in the winter because of that sliding hill that I ran down 15 years ago and almost broke my neck. So I don't know what the solution is, but I do know that I deserve to get out of my driveway and out of my subdivision in time to get to work. So there's cars coming, SUVs, big cars and rain day cars, and my goodness, it's 45 down the line of cars. I can't get out. So what do? A safety thing. This is the safety part. I start showing the people that I got to get out. So I edge up, and then I edge up, and no one pays attention. And then I edge up. Sorry. Just got to show you what I got to do in my car. No one cares. And so if it was me, I would understand what that individual's trying to say. I mean, I do it at Mallard, I do it at Lancer, all the different exit. I can go around, and I've been doing that. But no longer, not when winter comes, I'm not doing it. So what do? What's the solution?
Well, this is obviously a traffic situation that could be handled by maybe a traffic study by the police department.
Yeah, and there's a policeman that sits there, but he never gets out of his car. I've never seen him get out of his car, and that's okay if that's what he's there for, just to see if he's needed. But I don't know why he doesn't know that I'm needing him, So do I get a knock on his window? What do I do? So just saying, sir, I would never treat a citizen the way I've been being treated at that corner, at any corner. no one pays attention. It's always, and the children come first, absolutely. I have 3 grandchildren, of course they come first. But I just think that now and then, someone should listen to someone with a problem, and that's me.
Okay,
I was
thank
gonna
you.
get a petition. I work full-time. I just got out of work. I was gonna go this weekend to get a petition signed by the people in the area. I was at drill, so I couldn't make it then either. So, I'm a busy person who deserves attention. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that's the final act of business here, so I'm calling for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for adjournment. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No?
Ask a question before you adjourn?
Sure, go ahead.
So what do I do now? I mean, I even called here, no one ever responded to my call.
You called where?
Then I called the police
Well,
station, they never responded to my call. So then I called. the
What
school.
day did you call the police station that they didn't respond to
Oh,
your
my,
call?
How many times is all I want to know. I didn't write them down, sir. The last time, I think, was last Monday. The school, I called them because this day was horrible. And they told me, in no words, call the police. So, very rude, that school, the assistant secretary to the principal, I guess, she wouldn't tell me her name when I asked for it, and I asked her if she was Karen. She wouldn't respond at all then. So, I'm just saying, sir,
What-
no one ever responded.
Were you calling the police department or central dispatch? What number did you call, do you
I'm not
remember?
Not a pro at calling, the one
Probably
that's
Central.
listed, when you push in St. John Police Office, that number, the one that comes up on your phone.
Well, we don't dispatch, since 2015, we can't dispatch out of the police station, it has to go to central dispatch.
I have no
So if
idea
you're
what you're
calling the
talking
police
about.
station, it might be going through a bunch of phone trees. I wish you knew what you were talking about, because that's
Sir,
not new, it's
still going through
2015.
Phone trees, that's 2 weeks ago. It's still going through
No,
phone
the
trees?
point I'm trying to make is that if you're calling the police department, we'll have a record of that, there'll be a message someplace. If you're calling central dispatch, we don't have a
I
clue,
have no
so if
idea what that means.
So what Chief Demeter's saying is if you're trying to get a hold of someone, so say,
And never responds, no one responds.
well, we're trying to explain, so if you're having an emergency or not, even non-emergency, you need a police officer, a firefighter, or an EMT.
Right.
There's a number that we could give you that we'll call our dispatch, which
That's a
will.
special number that I didn't know. Okay.
Yep,
St.
so
John.
the easiest number is,
Dispatch.
the easiest number is 911,
Yep.
and that will get us, even if it's not emergency, you could call that number.
So no one first, nothing like
What,
that?
660?
It's 911.
Nine-
And St. John will answer?
So what Chief Demeter is explaining is in, the state long ago has requested all agencies to be centralized. So if you're in, say, St. John, or if you're in Maryville, Sherrville, Dyer, it doesn't matter.
Got it.
The one centralized location tells us where to go. So the 911 would be the easiest. Their non-emergency number
Right.
is 219-660-0001.
That's
And
non-emergency.
that's non-emergency. You're gonna get the same thing. They'll say central dispatch, what is your emergency?
And just so you know, too, they're gonna ask you a bunch of questions.
All I ask-
Don't be frustrated, stay on the line, it takes a long time, and then they will generate a call and we can be dispatched
Thank
there.
you. Am I done?
Yeah.
Can I ask, can I ask about what time of the day? Obviously, it's when schools going into
It's probably
session,
like
but,
8:30, 9
I
o'clock.
didn't even make out what you're saying. What'd you
yeah,
say?
what time of the day is it that you're leaving?
About 8 o'clock, 8:15.
8:15? Okay, that's what I needed to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I'm there till 8:45. And I start work at 9. And my boss does not like it, okay? And I get it, so I should get out earlier. I tried that. So I've done everything you're gonna suggest. And I even went back and out toward 65, whatever that's called out there, to go. And I'm thinking, why am I doing this? Why do I have to waste my gas? I've lived here 44 years. I don't mean that I come first. No, it doesn't mean that. What I mean is I want this to pave the way for the younger people, because I'm going to retire soon, and I want to pave the way for the people that are going to run into this frustration. Again, I think it's a small solution. I don't think it's that big of a deal to work it out at all. But for the next people coming up, I don't want them to have the frustration I've had.
And I did go ahead and just emailed our police chief, and I also CC'd our deputy chief as well on that,
Thank you,
so.
thank you, guys, I mean, all, thank you. And I'm EMS, I'm emergency, I'm 911, I'm a nurse practitioner, I work for the Indiana Guard Reserve, and I know everything you were saying tonight, the 501c, all that. So I know what you're doing, I understand your job. I hope you make a great decision for me. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we're done.
I did not officially strike the gavel that we're adjourned.
Go ahead.
Meeting adjourned?